Hello everyone, this is Vinay here from Learn Coding with Vinay. In this video, we are going to discuss another important topic of MS SQL. Right, so we must be storing textual data in our application database, right? But choosing the right data type is a very important factor in database, right? Because choosing a wrong data type can affect your database performance and storage capabilities in a longer run, right? So we'll be discussing about most commonly used textual data type, which is char, varchar, and nvarchar, right? So let's talk about char data type. So what is a char data type, right? So char data type is actually fixed length data type. Now what is mean by fixed length data type? So if we know that our database table column will always have a fixed length data, for example our states code, country code, state code, let's say GJ, MH, country code maybe IND, India, USA, right? So they are fixed in length, right? So if it is fixed in length, then we should go for character data type, right? Now the next one is varchar. As the name says, variable length data type. So if the data landing into your database table column varies in length, that we don't know probably what kind of data, or what length of data will land in, then we should go for varchar, right? The examples are name, product description, email address, postal address, right? These are the few examples of variable length data type. Now the next one is n char and nvarchar. Again, nchar is a fixed length data type, but it is of Unicode, right? And nvarchar is again a variable length Unicode data type. Now, what is Unicode data type? Now, if you have if you are working on a multilingual application, right, where you need to store data in multiple languages, right? So a single column may contain some data. For few rows it may contain data in English, for few rows it may contain data in Chinese or Japanese or Arabic, right? So in that case we should use nvarchar, right? So I hope this will give you a good idea on which one to use where, right? Now let's talk about the key differences of these data types, right? So char and varchar usually takes 1 byte per character, right? And varchar takes 2 bytes per characters, and that is the reason that char and varchar will have max size of 8,000 character, while nvarchar will have 4,000, right? The next one is char is always fixed length data, right? So if we have defined a length and if we are specifying data that is lesser than the length, then it will pad spaces, extra spaces, right? So be very careful where you are using character data type, while varchar and nvarchar will not pad extra spaces. So let's understand it by an example. So I have declared a variable called @c, right, which is of type char and of length 5, and I am storing just 2 character in it, right? A b, right? So if I go ahead and run this query, then let's see what will happen, right? So this is our data, and it says the length is 2 and data length is 5. Now what is different between len and data length? So len will actually calculate the number of characters in a string, and data length is actually the bytes used, basically storage of that particular data, right? So this we can read something like that, that's okay, it is ab, data is ab, character length is 2, and storage length is 5, right? Why this is 5? Because character data types appends extra spaces if it is not of a declared length. So in this case, if I copy this and paste it somewhere over here, right, look at the extra spaces, 1, 2, and 3. These three are extra spaces. So character will always take the number of space defined for it, right? So there will be, if the data is shorter, then it will pad extra spaces, right? While same is not true for varchar and nvarchar. So let's see this example. Here we have declared a variable called @v, which is of varchar data type and of length 5. We are just putting down data ab into that, right? If I go ahead and run this, then it says, the character length is 2 and data length is also 2 bytes only, right? Let's take a look at the NVARCHAR one, right? So we have declared the, at the rate n as a NVARCHAR data type, n of length 5, right? And if we see the data character length, that is 2, but if we see the data length, that is 4. Why? Because NVARCHAR takes 2 bytes to store one character. Here we had data of 2 characters, right? So that's why it took 4 characters. So this is a one major difference, right? And one another tip for, using NVARCHAR data type is always use n before your data. So prefix your data with n, and otherwise it will not work properly, right? Below the line we have few more data example that is actually of NVARCHAR. This is probably a Chinese language. See, this is how it look like. And let me take another example of Hindi also. So again, we have a Hindi data, right? So this is a difference between, this is the second difference, right, between these data types. That carries of fixed length data types, if we are not providing the data of the length it is defined, then it will add extra spaces, while varchar and nvarchar will not add extra spaces, right? Now let's understand the real world use cases of this data type. So let's consider that we have a table where we are storing either state or city codes, right? We can declare it as character 2 or 3, because in India state code are usually of 2 characters. GJ is for Gujarat, MH is for Maharashtra, right? If we take country code, then it is IND USA, which will be character 3, right? Another example is storing gender, just the M and F character, right? M indicates male, F indicates female, right? One more example is PAN card. In India, I, the PAN card is of length 10th only, and everybody who holds PAN card, it is of 10 character only, right? So here we can take character data type. Let's take next example, varchar data type. So what are the example of varchar data type? So if we are storing just plain English data, then name, city, email, addresses, product name, these all are the example of varchar data type, right? So if you are storing only English data, then you should and if you have any one of these column in your database table, then go for varchar data type rather than character or nvarchar. Now what are the use cases of nvarchar data type, right? So if your application supports multilingual data, right? For example, you pick any social media, be it Facebook or Instagram, right? We don't know who people are using from which country, right? But they will comment in something their own language, they'll write their own blog, right? They write their own post in their language, right? So they have that luxury, right? That is because probably the data type for those fields are defined as nvarchar, right? So remarks, column, descriptions, these are common type where one should use nvarchar. Blogs and article are another example where we should use nvarchar. So let's take a real world example where we see the multilingual data. So if I go to Amazon, if I click over here, so we have language option, right? For by default it's English. If I say Hindi, then see how the website changes. See, now the menus are all in Hindi, the text, even the product and everything, the name and descriptions and all, everything is converted into Hindi. Let me go back to English. So now it is English. So basically Amazon supports multilingual multi languages in India, at least for sure, right? Say Hindi, I don't know with these languages, I hope they are Tamil, Telugu, Udia, Bengali, right? So this is an example of multilingual website. If you are developing similar to this, then probably if there is a table that supported languages, that stores supported languages, then probably you will have to store this data in such a way, right? Now let's move to the our SSMS again, right? So I hope this give you good idea about what are these type: character, varchar, and nvarchar. What are the differences, and what are its use cases, right? Now one more important table design tip that I would like to discuss over here is that whenever you are designing your table and whenever you are putting down columns into it, so for each column ask yourself two questions, right? First one is, do you need to store multilingual data in that column? If answer to it is yes, then you will have to declare that column data type as NVARCHAR, and then whatever length of it is. Currently I have just taken as n, right? If answer to the first question, that is you don't need to store Unicode data type, is no, then the second question is, the length of data is always fixed or it varies, right? So basically, if we are discussing about a column data type, it is not Unicode, then the next you should decide it whether it is of fixed length data type or whether it is of variable length data type. If the data is fixed, go for character data type. If the data is of variable length, then use the varchar data type. All right. So I hope you have a good idea on now on these data types, char versus varchar and varchar. So thanks for watching this video, and see you in next video. Thanks.